Hi everyone. Today I'm gonna talk about microchipping. Going through my Facebook feed, and I saw that, and it kind of upset me, because they were like, it was one of those things about they're trying to make it look like it's nothing more than a barcode, make it all accepted and all this. But no, we can't be putting batteries and harmful equipment in our children. Obviously, these people don't know that microchips have been used for a long time. I mean, we use this to identify our pets. Most any animal that you get from the humane center or the dog pound has been vaccinated and microchipped. Now, I imagine that they are working on some kind of low jack type thing so that you can find a person when they come up missing if they've got a microchip in them. But last I heard, it doesn't. They don't have it. And so the microchip is basically for identification. Like, if you don't know about the microchip in your dog, it's basically like if somebody takes your dog to the vet, like if your dog runs away and somebody else adopts your dog and they take it to the vet's going to say, "Oh, the owner of this dog is this person. We found your dog." If they find animal remains, there's your dog. It's the same with people. Now, out in the wild, where most bodies are dumped or buried, is out in the wild. People don't always get to the bodies before their bones. And fingerprints are gone. They can get mitochondrial DNA, but that takes quite a bit of time, and they have to have the mother's DNA on file from every kidnapping case or every missing person case on the planet, and that's like an astronomical feat because you got to think there's tons of people missing, and there's probably tons of Jane Does out there buried, Jane Does and John Does buried that are actually some of these missing people. Where microchip would fix that. I mean, obviously, if it was in the soft tissue, it would end up like in the grave outside of the body. So I'm thinking, you need to put that like on the bone somewhere, just a small incision, put it on the bone, you know, and you also have to put it in different areas so that the kidnappers don't just like if they know that it's always in the right toe, well, we got to cut off the right toe because they're always going to be smart about that. Lots of bodies are found with tattoos removed. If they know that the victim has hardware in them, like myself, I have a rod in my left arm and I have two plates in my right arm. So those are identifiable. And if a kidnapper knows that, then if they dump the body or whatever, they probably want to dump those body parts elsewhere. I mean, the thing is, you got to think these people are smart, and this story that I read, they were talking about, well, there's tons of ways to track your kids. You got your cell phone and watches and this and that. And it's like, do you never watch CSI or Criminal Minds or Forensic Files or anything? Phones are left behind. Phones are turned off. Phones are broken. There are tons of ways to, I mean, like they're not going to search a kid that they're abducting to make sure they don't have any kind of device on them. But if they don't know if that kid's microchipped, and if they don't know where that microchip is at, then they don't know. I mean, I don't care if you do have to have batteries or something like that. I would have low jack on my kid. I ain't messed up about it. That I would have a dang ankle bracelet on my kid if I could. You know, I would wear an ankle bracelet just to show that this is where this person's at. Because if somebody kills me, I want them to find me. Because if you don't find the body, it's harder to it's harder to uh, habitat. Sorry about that. Had to answer a question. Um, so I ain't messed up about microchipping and stuff, but anybody who's worried about it getting to be like where all products have barcodes and shit like that, just think in England, if you get arrested for jaywalking, you provide DNA. Here, we have to get court orders for that shit if somebody doesn't want to provide. So, as far as microchipping goes, that's only going to be people who want that technology in their kids or in themselves. Personally, I'm going to do it because I want them to find me and I want them to find the asshole that killed me if I'm murdered, you know? And like I said, I ain't messed up about, if it came down to putting an ankle bracelet on my kid, I would put an ankle bracelet on my kid. Let some motherfucker take him. Because you know what? Those kids with the big bulky ankle bracelets would not get abducted because the pedophile would be like, oh no, I ain't messing with that. They'll know where that kid's at all hours of the day. All they got to do is look it up and find out where he's at, you know? I mean, there's ways to deactivate those too, but since a lot of criminals that get to wear those don't have very good luck with having them off or not being alerted, I mean, that would be the kind of thing the cops would be like, hey, why is this coming off? Why do we have an alert? The parents get an alert. Hey, my kid's at this thing and I've got an alert. We live in a dangerous world where bad things happen. We live in a world where tons of people are missing right now. I mean, people have been missing for 40 years. Nobody knows what happened to them. We have the technology to identify people. We have I mean, and we're doing this for our pets. You know, I want, I could care less if, well, I mean, yeah, I've had a cat run away. It sucks if you don't know whether they're dead or alive. But, you know, the microchip is not something that people really have to worry about because, like, right now, and probably forever, it will be the parent's choice on whether or not their kid has it. And when their kid reaches 18, it'll be the kid's choice whether to remove it or not. Because that is what some people would consider an invasion of privacy or some kind of overstep on your freedom. But the thing is like right now, I mean, unless they rigged something up to your heart or did something like a pacemaker on a person, there's really no way for an internal piece of tech to continuously do. I mean, you would have to go through, nobody's going to do that. I mean, I wouldn't even do that to my kids if every so often they had to have batteries replaced. I'd say, no, let's just get an ankle bracelet on them. Let's just do that. And plus people who are on house arrest wouldn't feel so bad going out in public because there'd be a ton of people wearing ankle bracelets or wrist bracelets or put it somewhere on your body, you know. Um, but to get all up in arms, and I remember they used to have this thing that they used to say like they were going to put barcodes on people, and I remember this when I was like 11 or 12 years old, these little flyers for don't get the barcode, it's the devil's mark. And honestly, a barcode, like, all it takes to get rid of a barcode is a really sharp knife or a really hot knife laid upon your skin, and boom, you are no longer a servant of the devil. I mean, it's like, come on, really. It just trips me out that people act like they're coming for your freedom via personal choices. I mean, come on. Now, I want them offering microchips for me, for my kids, for everybody, because I want killers to get caught. Um, it doesn't necessarily say, like I said, there's really nothing out there that they could feasibly put in a person just for tracking them for their safety. Nobody's really going to do that. But as far as when you find something, knowing what it is, because fingerprints go away, fingerprints like dissolve, fingers can be uh, cut off. You can get mitochondrial DNA, but like I said, you got to have the mother. And if you don't have the mother, you have to have like siblings that came from that mother or somebody to provide a sample of what the mitochondrial would be. And even then, like if you got two missing people from your family, you're fucked. You don't know which person this is. If there's, if it's just bones and the marrow's degraded or whatever, um, I guess you could destroy a microchip by burning the body. So maybe they'd have to figure out a way to make it non-burning, where that's gonna keep. They'll find a little piece of metal in with your ashes at the crematorium. I don't know, but um, to get all defensive about some choice that people would make, I mean, personally, I think that when you go get tested for paternity, your DNA should go on file, and I wouldn't be surprised if somehow it does, like maybe like an NSA file, um, because I figure, if you're not, that's what gets to me about people who scream about the rights of a person, to their DNA or whatever, and it's like, well, if they didn't do it, then DNA is the surest way. Like if they got a DNA sample on a victim and the guy says, I never met her, well, explain your sperm in the body, well, a DNA sample clears them real quick or says, well, you're lying real quick. So to me, it's like when I was a kid, they came and took our fingerprints at school, and I'm pretty sure that those fingerprints ended up on file with the state in Arkansas, with the state of Arkansas. I'm pretty sure that my fingerprints went on file for that, and that's the only time I've been fingerprinted in my life. Does it make me mad? No, because I haven't done anything. And if I don't do anything, then I got nothing to worry about. And if I do something, I should get caught. I should pay the price. There's consequences to your actions. So I'm for it. I don't think it's an invasion of my rights. I don't think that it's in any way taken away from my freedom to live and be who I want to be, because I'm not out there killing and raping and doing shady shit. Hope you're not either. Have a good night.